Hello everyone, this is Ben from Agfa, and what we're looking at now in this section is how we can create these sorts of things here. So how we can actually just quickly paint on 3D assets that we've sort of set up so that we can get a bit of sort of more detail and life into this environment. And it just makes things look a little bit more realistic. But also it just makes a very quick and easy way. I'm also going to show you how you can make it so that you can still walk through the shrubbery here, which you want to be able to do, but not through the rocks, which we don't want to do. We don't want to have our character going through trees and rocks because that's a bit unrealistic. But yeah, this is basically just a quick way of just blocking out how you want the level. Obviously you'd go back and tweak this and make it a little bit more natural and picturesque and everything, but it's very easy to use. You can left click to drag to put it on. You can change the density of it, but you can also hold down shift to delete. It's just a really easy and quick way just to quickly block out the sort of detail that you want there. So we're going to go through exactly how to do that. So I'm going to actually remove that and remove that as well. So yeah, so without it you can see the terrain looks a little bit bland. So let's talk about how we add it. So first of all, what is the foliage? Well, it's this little mode up here with the little tree or plant sort of thing up here. And you can see here, you can just drag and drop things in here. Now, when we say things, what we're talking about are static meshes. So these objects down here, if you have a look in your starter content and props, you will see these sort of static meshes here. They can be anything from tables, chairs, or in this case, a bush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click and drag that straight in there. And that is pretty much all I need to do, and then I can just left click and drag to paint it on. Now a few things, first of all, when you paint it, if it looks all horrible grey colour, don't panic, that's just the textures compiling. But if you want to go down here, you can change the density of it. So if I want to make it sort of really thick, almost like grass, I can do that. I would not advise that because it will kill your performance. So, or if you want to make it very sparse, so you don't want to make it too high at all, you can also do that. You can change the sort of radius and brush scaling, all different types of things in here. So we won't look too much at this one because this isn't the one that has a complication, but we will start looking at how we can make rocks collide with it as well. So in here, if I don't have that ticked, I won't be able to use it, which is good because now if I left click and drag my rock in here, I may decide, okay, I don't want to paint with bushes, I just want to paint with the rock, so I'm just going to left click and drag here. Now, as you can see, when I go into this level, I'll walk through the grass, which is good, exactly what I want, but this is not what I want. I don't want to be able to walk through my rocks. So the quick and easy way of fixing that is we actually have to go down to this static mesh down here. And we need to double click on that to open it up. We then need to search for collision in this details panel here and change that to from project default to simple collision as complex or complex as simple. I might actually go as complex as simple just so we can get the detail on that rock and everything so our character doesn't get stuck on them and everything. And then once that's done, then we just need to change the properties in here to make sure that happens. And I believe that Unreal just crashed there because I had too many instances of it doing that. So, lucky I've got this one open up here. I will just continue with this one because it is pretty much the same anyway. So, if we go modes, foliage, and I'll go starter content, props, I go rock, drag that in, and that's there. Cool, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go back to select mode, select my player, zoom in just so I've got a better view, and then go back to foliage. And yeah, if we start painting these rocks in, my character will walk straight through them. And as you can see, that grey thing that I was talking about there is happening where the textures have not yet loaded in. That's fine. But yeah, so we've got to change that. So we simply scale down here where it says presets and collisions. We just want to go block all. This will block our character plus anything else. And then we may need to go in there and just change the collision properties as well. Because yep, we're still going through it, so we don't want that. So we're just going to double click on here. Cool. So yeah, so we've got this set up, details, go down to collision, block all, And we're just going to go use simple as complex. We'll just stay with that just for now, just to see it, just in case it crashes again. But if that is saved, now our character will still go through it. So we need to change one of the other properties on here. What will it be? It will be something. So if we just drag and drop that in, character won't go. No, character still goes through it. So something is not right with this mesh here. So a double side geometry just in case. Block all should be the thing. You know, save. That should have that. So simple and complex. Fine, we'll go with that. I have a feeling because that's how about that? It doesn't actually have a simple. It only has a complex. So that is why. So we need to add a convex collision, go apply, that'll apply it, go save, and now, at the very least, yep, that one works, and these ones work as well. So it just happens that rock did not actually have a collision box on it, but that's how you do that. So in either case, that is how we get our foliage working, where we can just, so we switch that off, switch that on, and paint that in. So we can just use that now, just to try and create a bit of extra detail to our landscape so it doesn't look so plain. So I'd recommend just playing around with that a bit, getting used to it. Remember, it's just left click and drag to add, shift left click to erase, and you have to have these selected to make sure that you can actually do either of those things. And remember, if it's a static mesh that's been placed down, it won't do that at all. So have a play around with that, and when we get back in a minute, we'll have a look at height maps, so how we can actually take a grayscale image and apply it to the terrain when we create it to create automatically a height map, so that we've already got our landscape there just as a starter for us to then tweak and turn into an actual level. So look forward to that, and I'll see you then.